it's a new year. There's going to be a lot of people who haven't stepped foot in the gym before. What is some advice that you would give someone who's literally just starting out?
Ease into it, do maybe 2 to 3 days, start off with that.
So you said you went through CrossFit phase, Orange Theory, weightlifting. What are your opinions?
I'd say with CrossFit and Orange Theory, what I liked about it is...
I think it's more discipline than motivation.
For sure.
Hey yo, what is up guys? We got episode 2 of Treadmill Talks, joined today by an honorary guest, fully sponsored athlete, Addison Besedic.
That is me. Hi, happy to be here.
So, Addie, introduce yourself, tell me about you a little bit, who you are.
Hey, I'm Addison. I'm from Clearwater, Florida. In regards to fitness, I was always active growing up. I did a lot of sports in high school and stuff. And eventually it led to me being a gym person. So.
Okay.
And I'm an architecture major at UF, University of Florida. I'm a senior, graduating in spring. And yeah, that's me.
Has it hit you yet?
Graduating?
The graduating part?
No, not fully. Not fully. Getting into the real world and all that, I'm not ready for that. But I'm also ready to get out of the school mindset.
You trying to leave?
Yeah, it's a whole grind, so it's kind of, I'm ready to be a little bit done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I used to see all your stories that especially during finals week with your project at 4 a.m., 3 a.m.
You can't talk to me the final month of the semester because I have no time and I am not mentally okay
No.
during that time.
No.
So
it's definitely a grind. But let's say, what is some background information that has led to who you are today?
Who I am today?
Whether that's mentally or just you as a whole person.
I guess I'll start by saying my mom's an artist.
Okay.
And so growing up, I was always creative. And she really encouraged me in art. I took AP art in high school for 2 years. And that's kind of what led to architecture. And so I've always had a passion for creating and now it's kind of become with architecture helping other people in a creative aspect. So creating spaces where people are able to live their lives in a better way. That's kind of what that passion has turned into, but I still am able to paint on the side.
Yeah.
So I still have that original passion in my life, which is cool, but now it's kind of translated into something more with my major.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So would you say that's what made you choose architecture?
Yeah, I wanted something creative that wasn't I'm an artist.
Okay, yeah.
So it's a little bit more of a stable day-to-day thing than just saying I'm an artist, which as a backup, I'm always going to have that in the back of my mind if I get to the field of architecture and I'm I don't like this, I can always just paint stuff.
Yeah.
It's just pretty cool. So.
When did you find out that architecture was the move? Did you always know, or?
No. So actually, funny story. When I applied to UF, I didn't even know I applied as an architecture student because I was thinking graphic design, interior design, architecture. I didn't really know which one I wanted to go into. But when I got into UF, I applied for architecture. So I was okay, I'll do architecture, and that kind of decided it for me. And now I've developed a love for it. But it's definitely not what I knew I wanted to do at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of got lucky with it.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Everything works out at the end.
Yeah.
So when did you start training? When did all this phase start?
Okay, so every summer, every random few months, I would get into a phase of working out. It would last 3 months over the summer, and then I'd go to school and I'd be okay, I'm too busy. I can't do it anymore. And that would happen. I did Orange Theory. I went through that phase. And then one summer, 2 summers ago, I was this summer I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna commit to this because I'm realizing that I'm quitting after I have all the time and it's easier.
Yeah.
Once it gets hard, I quit and I don't want to do that. So I started April, May before 2 summers ago. So it's almost been 2 years.
Okay.
And I just haven't stopped since. So.
Good.
Yeah.
So it hasn't even been 2 years for you?
No.
Wow.
No. Yeah, it'll be 2 years in like March, April,
Okay.
around there. Yeah.
What? I know you said you did like a lot of sports before.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
Lacrosse, cheer, and then growing up I did soccer, volleyball. I even ran track at one point. I tried doing shot put, but that didn't work with my schedule. But yeah, I was captain of the lacrosse team and cheer team.
What'd you play in lacrosse? I played midi. I was defensive midi.
Yeah,
so.
I was midi/attack. So I
Okay.
take the draw and then mostly play attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
I played lacrosse for like I played it junior year and senior year for the first time like ever.
Uh-huh.
I wasn't really good at it. Soccer has been my thing.
Gotcha.
So I was like 5.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah, I played soccer when I was like 8. So I don't know if I really count that, but yeah, I played for way too long because I was not good at that sport.
When did you start lacrosse?
I started lacrosse sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
So yeah, that's like kind of when our program started too,
Yeah.
after high school. So we weren't very good, but I was there in the trial years.
Because our school was the same way. Like it got introduced sophomore year.
Uh-huh.
Only like legit lacrosse players played.
Yeah.
Junior year came, they realized they didn't have enough people like during the sophomore year, so they just recruited any athletic people. And that's when I joined.
Okay.
So would you say that had like some part of you transitioning into the gym?
Yes.
Like,
I
what was-
also
what
went through
was
a CrossFit phase. So that like kind of
You
was
went through what?
a CrossFit phase.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was kind
Tell
of
me
more of
about
a foundation for like compound lifts and
Yeah.
stuff, I'd say. But back then, I would just ask the coaches or whatever they're called. I'd be like, how much weight do I do?
Right.
Like, what do I do? And I had no idea how much weight I was moving.
Okay.
So that was
So-
like a foundation, but I really still didn't know what I was doing then.
So you said you went through CrossFit phase,
Yeah.
Orange Theory, then now you actually like just do normal weightlifting.
Yeah.
Out of the 3, what are your opinions? What changed your goals?
So
For people who haven't like experienced any of those.
I'd say with CrossFit and Orange Theory, what I liked about it is there were coaches and there were people like right next to you doing the same things, keeping you accountable and like yelling at you in the CrossFit sense. And I would always get that like cardio endorphin high after I
Okay.
finished a class.
Yeah.
And that was great. But especially CrossFit, like if I did that 3 times a week, I was dead. Like
Really?
it killed me.
Okay.
But I mean, with the gym, I like the gym because I'm teaching myself everything. So when I learn something, I'm like learning it myself. I'm not asking someone, what do I do? And then just kind of going through the motions. It's
Yeah.
more like me coaching myself.
Okay.
So it's different aspects of it. How do I explain this? In results wise, the gym has been the best for me. Like with Orange Theory and CrossFit, I never noticed any like strength changes or appearance changes,
Okay.
but I would feel good.
Right.
So like with the gym, I don't get that same endorphin rush, but I've noticed the most physical and probably mental change from the gym.
Okay.
So
Tell me about that. Mental
mental,
change.
yeah. I feel like the gym can teach you so many life lessons. It's absolutely insane. Like you learn since you're a kid, like, oh, eat good and work out, like exercise. Like,
Yep.
but no one really takes it seriously. And I mean, now with like the new year and everything, there's gonna be more people like getting in the swing of things. But I don't know, like it's really something you have to experience it. Like there's so many little life lessons in the gym that you can carry on to your day-to-day life, like consistency, challenging yourself, doing things you didn't think you could do, but like going for it anyway. I don't know, I can't think of a bunch of things off the bat, but
No, I completely agree though. For me personally, like when I started the gym, I was a skinny little twig, like 150 pounds, with like maybe like 2 inches shorter than what I am right now. Very like low self-confidence, like
When did you
everything
start?
like that. Yeah, I started. So this last September marked 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So 3 and a couple months.
gotcha.
I was like you, like in 8th grade, I would like have like phases where like I'll go work out,
Yeah.
then I'll stop.
Yeah.
Go work out, then I'll stop. Go work out, then I'll stop. And then sophomore year hit, and it clicked.
And the gym, I feel like growing up is like an intimidating place in your mind.
100%.
Like with sports and stuff, that was always fine. But when I thought of like the gym environment, I was always like, oh, I don't know what to do in there. Like,
Oh, me too. And it's like, it's actually one of the topics when I talk about it. It's like, so it's a new year. There's going to be a lot of people who haven't stepped foot in the gym before. And the gym is an intimidating place, I will not lie. Especially like for someone who is just starting out and not really knowing, like you said, you have to teach yourself everything.
I don't even know why though. Like it really doesn't have to be.
It's really not, but it's like in your head.
Yes, yeah.
It's 100% in your head.
No, for sure.
But like in reality, the gym isn't as intimidating as everyone thinks.
Yeah.
And always, the biggest guys are always the nicest people. I've learned that.
Yeah, no, same.
But I mean, like, what is some advice for you, or that you would give someone who's literally just starting out? Whether that's like intimidation, motivation, workouts.
I would say just do everything you can to stay consistent. Don't like go all in, cold turkey every day a week. Like ease into it, do maybe 2 to 3 days, start off with that. Like get used to the feel of the gym. And then like slowly increase your days. Like don't go all in and then you have to deal with like burnout and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What else?
What has helped you keep like, so a lot of people say it's motivation. I personally think it's more discipline than motivation.
For sure.
Because you're not going to be motivated every day.
No.
So what do you think has kept that discipline for you?
I think I just constantly want to see what I'm capable of. And so I'm like, do I want to be weak today? No. Like, do I want to be weak in my life? Like, this is how I want to live my life. If I want to do something, I want to have the confidence in myself that I'm going to stick to it. So I feel like the gym allows me to prove that to myself in a way. So I even went through a phase where I'd wake up at 5 and go to the gym at like 6. And those mornings, I did not want to get up. I drive a scooter in Gainesville. It gets cold. That's before the sun rises. It's freezing. But I still did it. And it felt amazing when I did do it.
Yep.
So, and also like that normal, or that quote, you never regret a workout. Like, if you go and you work out, you're not going to regret it. Even if you didn't want to do it at the beginning, you're not going to regret that you did it at the end, so you might as well do it.
I completely agree. So my senior year was my 5 a.m. phase. Because I would have practice after school.
I want to go back to it.
I do, but I don't. Like, I do, but then I don't know what it is. Like high school, we did 7 a.m. to like 2 p.m. classes, practice, school, gym, all that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking like.
What sports did you play in high school?
I did soccer and lacrosse.
Soccer and lacrosse. Okay.
Yeah. And so now it's like half the workload, but I get more drained out than I did in high school.
Yeah, because the pace is slower. That's like arguable. I would say the pace is slower in college. Like in high school, it's very standard. Like everyone's going to class together. Like it's very structured. And then college is kind of like you're on your own. So you feel more like independent and you feel like you can do whatever you want, but you still got to keep that structure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? So I've said this before. I think moving out of home and like going to a different city and living on your own is such a beneficial thing for you.
I agree.
What do you think you have learned since like because you've moved out obviously, live on your own? What do you think that has taught you?
Damn, I don't want to diss my parents' parenting, but I feel like I function best when I'm in clean spaces. So like having my own space is amazing because I can control everything that happens in it. With a family, like people are walking in, throwing their stuff on the counter, like it's always like a constantly moving space. I like having my own space where, that's why I like waking up at 5. I feel like I have the whole world to myself. Like I just like having my own space to be able to do what I want to do without any outside distractions. Like no one's up that early distracting me, slowing me down. I just like have my own space. So that's like, I kind of drifted away from the original question. That's part of the reason why it's beneficial for me, or it was beneficial moving to Gainesville. But I still think in the future, I need to move out of Florida
Okay.
to experience that, to see how I grow with that, because I think I realized that, I mean, you learn a lot being independent in general. Like whether that's away from your family or away from like a significant other, you learn a lot about yourself when you're alone. So I think it's really important for people to have that opportunity to move somewhere and experience it on their own. Yeah.
You said you want to move out of Florida. Where? Do you have a place in mind?
I don't. I would love to at least visit Houston. I
Okay.
feel like I need to see Houston because I think it's just like a really cool city. I don't know. I just recently visited New York and I was like, I could live here for like 2-3 years max, and that's it.
Really?
But like it'd be an experience.
Why
Yeah.
is that? Too busy?
Yeah, it's way too busy. You can't like raise a family, I feel like, in New York City.
Yeah.
At least like in the city. Like, I don't know, it's too much going on, and I like peaceful areas where I'm
Okay.
able to walk my baby or whatever I'm doing. I don't know. But as like a 20-year-old in my 20s, like I could
Right.
experience that in a very fun way.
100%.
Yeah. So I don't know if like I would want to move to like a super dense city or like just a city, but I don't know. Gainesville's like 2.5 hours away from home, so I always have that like reliance that home's right there if I ever need it.
Right.
But I feel like if I go further, I'll be able to learn more.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah.
get that. Because it's like at that point you're like, I have no background. It's
Yeah.
just like it's
Yeah, I have
me,
no
that's it.
option. Yeah.
Right.
So even if that's like traveling, like temporarily, not necessarily moving, but if I like traveled for a few months, and that experience I think could like grow me in a way that moving would too.
100%.
Yeah.
Do you want to stay, like, would you travel in the U.S., out the U.S.?
So this is all kind of a current dilemma because I'm graduating. I'm thinking of taking a gap year
Okay.
and get some internships and travel. So I really want to go to Europe. I want to go to Florence, Spain, Germany. There's a bunch of places. Just experience the world like on my own and not with my family. Because I've traveled to Italy like with my mom and my friends, but not by myself. And I feel
Yeah.
like traveling to a foreign country by yourself is like a big learning experience. So yeah, that's like all up in the air right now, but I think it'd be really cool to gain some experience in my field first off. And like, I don't know, maybe volunteering, get some like real world experiences. Because I've been such in like the school grind mindset that it'd be nice to like slow down and just like breathe, figure out exactly what I want to do with my life, and then go from there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, talking about like traveling, I know you just traveled to Miami. You spent like a couple of days there.
2 nights there,
2
yeah.
nights. Okay. So, the balanced life. I remember you put something on your story, and it's still like an ongoing debate. I've talked about it before with Miles and with other people. It's just having that like balanced life versus like locked in. And I do realize that like the balanced life would be better.
Yes.
How do you manage to balance school, gym, your outside life, your social life, content creating,
So it is
all of that?
very hard. I would say the one that suffers the most is my social life, because I'd say school comes first, but at times like the gym needs to come before that sometimes. I don't know. It's an ongoing debate with myself because especially during like this past final season, I was so busy where I was like, I don't have time to go to the gym, but I need the gym to function.
Right.
But when I go to the gym, I feel like I should be studying. So it was like a constant dilemma of like, what do I need to do? But obviously your mental health comes first. But sometimes with school, you have to pause it temporarily to like just get your stuff done, and then you can get back into it. But I don't know, I'm figuring that part out myself.
Okay.
But when it comes to like going out and all that stuff, with architecture, I really don't have many opportunities to go out. And if I do, it's not a night where I want to drink or anything.
Yeah.
So a lot of times I'll go out sober and I'll scoop myself out and I'll scoop myself home and not pay a
Yeah.
dime. It's great. because you're still able to like be social and like keep your friends, but you're not like fully letting yourself go and party and like feeling guilty about it.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of how I found balance, is just going out sober has helped me a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but it is hard sometimes when school gets really busy, trying to balance the gym and that. But either let it be going to the gym early, get it over with, and then you can start your day. Mm-hmm. Or if you have to take a day off or two, that's fine too. Like, it really comes day by day.
Yeah, and I mean, one of my viewers actually, they asked me to talk about normalizing days off. Personally, I struggle with taking a day off. Like, I took Saturday off.
Yeah.
And I was
same. I did too.
To come into the gym.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like I went through a phase where I was like really hard on myself about it, but I mean, I take 2 rest days a week, like standard. So like that's every week. And I don't know if there's a day where I really can't get around to it, or like I happen to not plan for it, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But if I'm able to plan a time where I'm able to get it all in at once, then obviously that's the better option. It's just like a matter of being organized, I'd say.
Definitely. I think organization is key. It's one thing that moving out has taught me, and it's like, I'll try to at least have my next day planned out from the night before.
Yeah,
not religiously like, all right, 7 to 8 I'm doing this, 8 to 9 I'm doing this, but it's just like an idea of like, all right, we're gonna do this around this time, and then a little bit later I gotta get this done, and then I gotta make sure this, checkpoints, checklist basically. It's like, all right, get this, and this done throughout the day. So just somewhat of an idea of like what I'm gonna do in the next day, and I feel like, as someone who's just, like, for anyone who's just trying to get into the gym, having that, like, set block of the day, where it's like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym at this time.
Even on top of that, like, creating your workouts before you walk into the gym will help make it a lot less intimidating, because you know, like, where you're going to go when you're done. You're not like, okay, what do I do next? And you're, like, pausing, and then your, like, anxiety kicks in. If you, like, go in with a plan, you're going to feel better about circulating around the gym and stuff like that.
100%.
So,
I mean, so you, as a girl's perspective, what advice would you have to new girls who are just coming in, whether that's like you said, creating workouts? What kind of workouts should they do? What should they follow?
I mean, of course, I'm gonna say at the end of the day, everyone's different. It's good to pick and choose from other people's workouts, but I'll tell a story. When I started on TikTok, I followed this girl. Her name's Elena Christine, I want to say, and she had a 30-day challenge, and those were my first 30 days of working out. I just followed the days, and what I took from that is she had a split implemented into it, so I kind of followed with that split, and then just kind of pick and chose workouts that, like, every Monday, whether it be like quad day or whatever it was, I would pick and choose those workouts and then kind of formulate my own split with it. So that started me off really good. Just like creating a split, listing some workouts, seeing what you like, what you don't like. That's what helped me. But yeah.
I had a similar thing. So for you, it was the TikTok
girl.
For me, it was a guy. His name is Merkle Fitness on YouTube. He's the first influencer that I started watching. I still watch until this day. But he was living in Ohio, and he still is. But now he's sponsored with Raw Nutrition now. So he's blowing up. And I remember when I first started watching him, he was still like, I want to say he was like 19, 20. I was like 15 at the time. And so I would watch his videos, and there would be like the splits, the diets, and I would like pick and choose like the things that I could like take in my life. Like to this day, I still have the same breakfast that he has.
Really? What's his breakfast?
Oatmeal, protein powder,
Uh-huh.
and a scoop of peanut butter, and then you can add like
Okay.
blueberries or bananas or
Okay.
whatever.
I went through a pro oats phase.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on a cream of rice kick now.
He does the same. Okay, this is.
Or I'll do half cream of rice, half oats.
Ooh.
Like
I have
25
yet to
grams
try
of cream of rice. Really?
I have not tried it.
This past few months were the first time I've tried it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's good if you mix it with oats because
Okay.
it kind of keeps the consistency like similar.
Right.
But yeah, it's just something different.
Okay.
So if you ever get like sick of it, a little sick
Yeah.
of what you're eating, you can switch it up just a little bit. Yeah. I've also been on like I'll do 3 egg whites, 2 eggs, 2 pieces of toast, and some fruit. That's like a big staple
Right.
for me.
I used to I see it on your story
Yeah,
every morning.
every day. It's
Every
the same
morning.
thing.
Yep.
But I was like, you know what? This is me. Like, if you want to see what I'm eating, this is what I'm eating every day. It's pretty boring, but
And it's like you don't have to like chef up in the kitchen. I just keep it simple, especially living
something
on my
fast.
own now.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
keep it simple. Rice and chicken. Like maybe I'll change out like the sauce throughout the week.
Yeah,
to, like, Give it a
exactly.
different flavor. But I'm not like Chef Ramsay just in the kitchen cooking up different meals every day. I don't have the
have to
time
be.
or
You don't
money
have to
or
be.
the time or
You're
the
a
effort.
lot more efficient if you just stick to the same stuff anyway. So you might as well find what you like and
100%.
stick with it.
100%. So I'm sure you've had this. I've definitely had this where I've had periods where I've like fallen off, whether it's the gym or even honestly just in life. And so we all have those mistakes. I think it's important to normalize the fact that no one's perfect. You're always gonna fall off. You're always gonna like lose track of where you are. But it's like crucial to just realize that you have fallen off and then get back on track.
For sure.
What do you think? What advice would you
That
have?
kind of goes into what I said about rest days. Like, when I fall off, I know at the end of the day I'm gonna go back, so I can't beat myself up about it. Like, I know at the end of the day I'm gonna go back to the gym. I'm gonna have that routine again. So I can't freak out about it if I'm going through a little phase, and that's needed sometimes. That I will go back and feel better about myself eventually. But sometimes, like, during finals, I have those like moments where it's like, okay, it wouldn't be smart if I went to the gym because I'm gonna freak myself out. So I need to just like sit in studio, grind, and then I'll get back to it eventually.
Yeah.
So yeah, just knowing that you're allowed to pause temporarily, but you know it's gonna be temporary.
Yeah.
So just allowing yourself to know that you'll be back eventually.
Alright guys, unfortunately due to some technical difficulties I had to cut the podcast short, but I got all of Addison's links in the bio. Go show her some love. I appreciate y'all for watching. That's Reps.